beautiful day. I'm feeling a lot better today. I was having kind of a rough go yesterday. I don't know, I just felt like one of those days where nothing was working. I'm struggling tonight. I got a new binding attachment for my 2750. I've been messing around with it all day, just trying out different things, trying to get it to work, and I just can't get it to work. I don't know what's going on. But I think for tomorrow, I might just bail on the binding and try and get a nice finished look on the edge of this bag without it. I mocked this little bag up using the pattern just so I could see if I could get the binding to work. I can't worry about the binding anymore. If I let another day go by, I decided to just throw in the towel and start fresh today. I'm ready to go make a bag. So just to show you how this sometimes goes down, I created the pattern. I thought I was all ready to go. I made the mock-up out of some scrap leather, and now I'm seeing like 4 or 5 changes that I need to make to the pattern, so I think I'm actually gonna start over. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. First thing I noticed was the flap is a little bit too long, and it's really hard to gauge that because we don't know how much this is gonna stick out, especially once I get the foam in there. It might actually stay a little bit more expanded, and so, you know, when you're just trying to guess, you really have no idea how long to make the lid. But anyway, I need to cut it short because there's gonna be some tuck locks right here, and the straps are gonna be coming down. They need to have enough room for, you know, I want it to have enough breathing room. I need to have the lash tabs high enough so that the buckle sits in the center and the tuck locks are at the bottom. So I need to fix that. Also, just overall dimensions. It kind of just looks a little bit too much like a little purse to me. I was really worried about that. There's a lot of times where I just want the camera body and then like 1 or 2 lenses and that's it, and some extra batteries. So I love having a smaller bag, but I want to feel good about carrying it around. So now that this is made, I have a better idea though of what I can change and how to adjust it. It would be nice if I could fit the camera in this way as opposed to doing it that way, because that would save a ton of room and fit more lenses and more dividers in there. Yeah, that could not be better timing. I've had this little swatch or sample sitting around. I've been keeping it by my desk. That's what I do with the ones I like. But it's new Haven Veg from Acadia. Let's see if I can get some better lighting. Kind of a russety color. It's not too orange, it's not too light, and it has a pretty soft temper, probably because of the oil in it. But anyway, I ordered a full side from Acadia, and I'm gonna use it on this bag. And if I had started on the bag yesterday like I was supposed to, this wouldn't have worked out. So it's destiny, you know? All right, let's open it. It's quite a bit darker than the sample I have, but I'm not mad about it. It looks good. So this is the sample, quite a bit lighter, but it feels really good. It's nice and oily, soft. This is gonna make for a beautiful camera bag. All right, I got my patterns all cut out, and I'm ready to start cutting into leather. So that means it's time to bust the camera out. I've been through so many different pieces of equipment, different tripods and mics and lenses, just to try and figure out what works best for this kind of filming, because it's kind of a particular thing. Like, one of the main things that's been really helpful is being able to see myself in the screen up here, which I never was able to do with my 6300 or 6500, but the new 6400 came out and it has it. That's all I needed right there. Most cameras don't have very good onboard microphones. In fact, you're listening to one right now. This is from my Sony RX100, and it's not great. So I've got this little rig that opens up a little more options to mount stuff. It's got like multiple cold shoe mounts here. So I use a Rode Video Mic Pro Plus Pro. This is my favorite lens, the Sony 16-70 f4. I love this lens because you have a massive range from 16, which is pretty wide, to 70, so you can zoom right in and get detailed stuff. It's only f4, so I was kind of hesitant about that since I'm shooting indoors most of the time, but because it's a Carl Zeiss lens, it's really bright, and I haven't had any issues with getting enough natural light in there, so this has become my go-to lens for almost everything now. So there it is, the Sony 6400 16-70 lens with a Rode Video Mic Pro Plus Pro. Let's get started. You gotta get that obligatory rolling out the leather shot. Rolling. All right, here it is. Here's the shot.
Hey, my babies, where are we going?
Let's go play!
We're going to our favorite diner.
Start it up.
My baby's sleeping? Hi, you ready?
I'm playing a little bit of catch up today. Things have been a little bit hectic these last couple days. I'm just trying to plug away at this thing when I can. If any of you follow my personal Instagram account, you've probably seen that I recently got back into racing motocross. I used to do it as a kid, and it was like I was obsessed with it. I just eat, sleep, breathe motocross all the time. And then like right after high school, I just quit doing it and I never got back into it. So 12 years later, I'm getting back into it. I got a bike. I'm gonna start racing next year. So I'm just riding right now, taking advantage of every open practice I can. So that's where I was yesterday. Our local track had a open practice and I went out there and rode. Dirty B got a new truck. Oh boy. Are you gonna be a little bit embarrassed that you're not pulling up in a lawn and garden trailer though? Good time. But anyway, I'm back in the shop. It's Saturday morning and I'm ready to knock this thing out. So I got the D-ring tabs sewed on. I actually did something a little bit different with these. I usually don't do this cross stitch right here. I usually just do the U shape and then call it good, but I don't know. I wanted to try something a little different. You know, it'll only make it stronger. Got the lash tabs sewn on. I'm trying to think of all the things that I need to do on this bag before I get the liner in because certain things can't be stitched once the liner's on. I need to get this kind of back, I don't know what you call it, little back collar panel here, and then the straps, the top handle and the straps coming off. That all has to be sewn in before I can put the liner in, because otherwise you're gonna have all that stitching coming through the liner and we just don't want that. I did make up a little rough draft bag. I actually changed the pattern quite a bit. This was a smaller one. I made the gusset a little bit bigger. So I'm not gonna be able to go completely off this, but I know exactly how many inches I added to the gusset and how many inches I shortened the lid by, so I can just take that all into account and make a pretty educated guess on how long my straps should be. So anyway, let's dive into this. I tried using some of this double-sided bonding tape for the straps and it's total junk. It doesn't work. Probably just because this leather's too oily, but I'm just gonna stick with my good old-fashioned water-based adhesive. Let's do it. Good morning from beautiful Park City, Utah. Hey girl, hey. So it's Whit's birthday this weekend and we had plans on coming out here on Saturday, but instead, just because of babysitting situations, we decided to come yesterday. It was a total last minute thing. We got a hotel and it was real cool because the concierge, is that what you call it?
I don't know.
I don't know. The lady that checked us in, she heard that it was Whit's birthday, so she bumped us to a better room. We got an upgrade and this room's killer. Look at this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Beautiful. Got the Olympic ski ramps up there. If you think we didn't soak it up in that hot tub last night, you're crazy. Because we did, huh?
Yeah.
We actually didn't. Psych, we did. What do you want to do today? It's your B-day.
We'll shop and eat.
In the shop till you drop?
Yeah.
Alright, let's pack it up and get out of here. So every time I'm sampling a bag, I realize more and more how important it is to do the full-on testing and checking just to make sure you're not doing something wrong before you start sewing things up. I kind of mocked up the overall shape and size of this bag just using these binder clips. So it's not going to be 100% accurate because this seam is actually going to be turned right here. It's not going to be an exposed stitch like that. That's the only way I could get the binder clips to stay. So this should give me a pretty good idea of how wide the gussets are going to sit and you know, where the straps need to lie. The most important thing that I was trying to nail with this was the length of the straps wrapping over this. So there's going to be about an inch overlap underneath that panel that's going to hide it right there, and then it needs to go down to about here, and I made it just a little bit longer than I normally do because I'd much rather have it be longer than shorter. You know, because this bag's so small, it would be kind of a disaster if this strap was too short. It would mean that the buckle would have to be right up here beneath the lash tab, and we'd just barely be hanging onto that tuck lock, so I'm hoping this works out. Also, I took this original front pocket that I cut, and I laid it down here and just kind of marked where it would be, and it looks good, except that when you pull the lid down, I'm realizing the straps are coming over here. The tuck locks are gonna be right on the edge of this panel. And that kind of makes me a little bit nervous. I gotta make sure I can still run a stitch down the side and those tuck locks are gonna line up and everything. So I ended up recutting the pocket to this one, made it 1 inch longer, and it's gonna be tight. Remember, this seam's gonna be turned in, not out like that. So it's gonna be tight, but I think it'll give us a little bit more room to run the tuck locks. But I'm really happy with the size of the bag. I really wanted to accomplish the kind of compact size of this kind of camera bag, so we got it. Hey, how do I get up there? What? I can't figure it out. So you're probably thinking to yourself, hey man, why aren't you back at the shop finishing up that bag and getting the video up? It's because we're at the famous A-frame house in Heber, Utah. Yeah, how do you have such a good memory for a 4-year-old? So we came here a little while ago and Indy was like 2 years old and somehow she remembers everything about this place. She's like, hey, they painted that wall. They got a new chair. What? You're smart, Indy. I should be finishing that bag. This is exactly why it's taken me so long to finish this up.
Hey!
What?
It's my birthday!
Well, that's true. So we've been really needing to get some family pictures for the PBS episode that we're on for the startup TV show. We didn't have any family pics with the Gulbransons and us, and so we were like, man, we gotta plan a little picture session. So I thought, what better place than the A-frame house? Last time we were up here, it was just so picturesque. Everything's just so beautiful up here. So the Gulbransons, our business partners, they're on their way up, and we're gonna get some family pics done, and then we're just gonna relax. What's up, Etta? Etta, you look like a star. So we are gonna spend the night here, and we'll be getting back home tomorrow, which is that beautiful girl's birthday right there. Hey girl, hey. This video's been taking me so long, but it's for a good reason. All right, let's party.
Coming in, flex. I just wanna win, LA BB, who we running with, 2233, I'm on 10 again, state your name. Been dope on flame, I just switched the lanes. Damn, he did it again, I just flipped the pain. Stripping and dipping in bass, slab on everything.
There's the crew. Hello, hello. What's up, guys? Hi, Annalise. Hi, Asher. High five. What's up? Oh, yeah. Now the party can start. We just got done with our family pics. Turned out pretty good. I think I was the best looking one, though. For sure. I don't know. Got it. How much time? 5. 5 hours? Yeah. Happy birthday, my Chica. Happy birthday to you. Woo! Is everybody full?
A lot of...
Got it? We got Kindles going.
She's ready for midnight.
Etta, you ready?
Someone's trying to stab Snow White.
Oh no. Oh no.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. My favorite drink. Cute.
I will help you take it off.
That was the pinkest one we could find.
That's cute. Big nerds. I almost bought some yesterday. Oh my goodness.
Indy picked that one out.
That smells just like what I like.
Mommy got her big present last week, huh?
28. Pretty dang good already.
28? You're old.
My mom's birthday today.
What you doing? Where's your son? I thought he was out here. Uh-oh. It's my birthday,
What?
and we're leaving the A-frame house. But Park's getting some shots first. You don't want those cute little legs in there?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, you need the door shut?
No.
We're capping the night with a boondock session. I don't know many 28-year-olds who want to go to boondocks for their birthday, but I want to do something fun for those little silly gooses. So we're at Boondocks. We're gonna do some fun arcade games, and when my whole fam gets here, we're gonna do a little bit of bowling. I love bowling. Wes! What you doing? Come here! Dada! He bucked you on!
You all right?
Did she get a spare?
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Mommy.
Thank you.
So I've got some 1/8 inch pretty dense foam here that I'm using to line everything with so it'll protect the camera gear. And I decided to glue the foam down first. So what I was a little bit confused about is I didn't think I should be using, you know, this real heavy duty glue on fabric. But that's all I've got. So I raided the house. Whit was like, we've got some Elmer's spray adhesive that might work. I'm like, yes, that's what I want. I didn't want to have to run to the store, but I knew there was something like this that I wanted to find, and we just happened to have it. So anyway, I'm gonna just cover the back of these, place them on this face down, and then cut around it. And then I'm gonna make a stitch here, 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 and then at that point I can start assembling the bag, you know, the gusset to the front, doing all that stuff. I don't know, I'm hoping it turns out. I've never lined a bag with fabric before, so we'll get this. We're gonna figure this out. All right, here we go. Alright, I just finished up and I'm feeling good. I'm actually not completely finished yet. Oh, little sneak peek. Okay. I still need to make the interior padded dividers. I actually have some that I'm already made up from an earlier camera project. But this is basically what I'm going to be making. Just a couple dividers like this. And once I finish those up, we're going to be completely done with this thing. And I was thinking about showing you the finished product, but I don't think I'm gonna. I'm gonna keep it dangling. All right, I'm down to my last and final thing that I gotta do for this video. It's that finale B-roll sequence. I usually put in a little sequence right at the beginning and right at the end. Hey, what you doing? What you doing? You drilling? Have fun. You've seen it in my other videos. I always start the video out and end it with a nice little B-roll sequence of the finished product. Little slow-mo panning shots. And that's what I'm about to do right now. It's always a little tricky when I'm doing a photography product because I usually have to throw my camera in the shot, you know, to get a little use case visual. Then I need a camera that I can actually film with. So luckily, we've got two of these little bad boy APS-C Sony Alphas. This is the 6500. Anyway, I'm gonna film all the slow-mo B-roll with this little bad boy and a 35mm lens, which is gonna be great because this is a 1.8 aperture, which means I can open the aperture way up and get tons of natural light, which is gonna be nice, especially since it's kind of overcast and not a lot of light coming in right now. So I'm gonna use that little wood plank right there that I made a while ago. I love the white wood up against the leather because it really makes the color of the leather pop. If you do it like on a more orangey wood like this, then the leather color kind of disappears into the background. If you want to see the finished product in all its glory, you have to watch the project video. I'm gonna upload it a few days after this one. So if you're watching this right after I uploaded it, then you're not gonna be able to see it for a few days. Otherwise, I'll just link it in an iCard or down in the description. So to get the really professional looking, just clean, crisp, slow-mo shots, I always shoot in 120 frames per second, which means your shutter speed should be at around 1/250. I really like to shoot in a flat color profile. I don't particularly shoot in the log footage because it's harder to expose and I don't think it's necessary for this. But I do like to put it in Cine 4, which gives it a really flat color profile. So you'll notice the colors aren't really popping a whole lot. It's kind of dull and flat. But that's really helpful because then once you color grade it, you can pop the contrast, pop the saturation, and it saves all of the highlights and the shadows that normally would have been blown out or crushed. And then I do have a gimbal, but you don't really need it for these shots. I like to just use my camera strap to stabilize it, so I hold it up against my neck like this, pull the tension on the strap, and it stabilizes the camera so I can do these kind of movements. And the beautiful thing is you only need a split second because you're gonna be slowing it way down, which means in 120 frames per second, you're probably only gonna be using about half of those frames. So the stabilization isn't as important. That's why I don't use my gimbal for this. But I'm just gonna try and get a few versatile shots just from different angles, different panning movements, and try and make this bag look as beautiful as it is.
I
stand by you when you're falling, when the river is calling.
Well, that's it. It's been a wild ride. It's time to sit down and start editing all this stuff up. Thank you guys for watching, though. Looks like we have some visitors. Who's there? Oh, it's that little tiny baby cute girl. Hi.
I just woke up, Dad.
I'm done. This is the last shot. This is the final shot of the vlog. What do you have to say for yourself, Etta? Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's it then. See you guys later. Go watch the project video. Bye. I guess we should get some mini hats for Etta.
Oh, don't take it from her.
Why does she like hats so much?
This hat, I wear a hat every day. She doesn't care. It's that hat. Because Daddy designed it. Is that why? She's so aggressive.
Let's try it on. See how it looks. Oh, pretty cute.
Oh, cute, Ed. Where'd you go?
Pretty cute, Ed.
Uh-oh. Bow and
I like
eyes.
that
Bow
one,
and eyes.
She's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Sing a sad song.